You're listening to Bourbon, Beards, and Belvederes, the podcast where whiskey, cigars, and beard products aren't just a hobby, they're a lifestyle. Hosted by Adam, Paul, and Jerry, three guys with real experience, full beards, and even fuller glasses. Each episode serves up thoughtful tastings, laid-back cigar talk, and honest takes on beard gear and beyond. From top-shelf pours to everyday essentials, this is the place where conversations flow as smooth as the whiskey. So, pour a glass, light one up, and enjoy the ride. This is Bourbon, Beards, and Belvederes.
Welcome to Bourbon, Beards, and Belvederes. I'm Adam.
And I'm Paul.
And I'm Jerry.
And we're back with more bourbon to drink, more cigars to smoke, and more beer products to tell you guys about. Just like always, we're starting with our palate warmer. My top left is Jerry. So, Jerry, what have you got in your glass?
Something I can't find down here at all, but I've grabbed it one of the last times I was in Kentucky. Just some good old J.T.S. Brown, bottled and bond.
Damn good stuff right there.
And yeah, it's I forgot how good it is. I've had this, what was that, 2 years now? It was like we were up there. And you can see I haven't had much out of it just because I think I got home, cracked it, had like 3 glasses, and I was like, all right, that's going to the back of the shelves until my next time, until I go to Kentucky and be able to buy some more. And of course, I think the last 2 times I flew up there and only had a carry-on, so couldn't grab anything on my way back. So
well, I figured. You know a guy that lives in the state of Kentucky, so
yeah. But if you don't ship it to me, it gives me a reason to go up there.
Well, that's true. Fair enough.
As if that's my only reason to go up there. That's not that one.
Paul, what you got?
Well, I'm double fisting. I grabbed this Green River,
good.
the Army 250 special release, which, well, talking to Jerry before we started recording, I thought I passed this on the shelf for $45 to $50 now for a while, and I just thought it was a label that they just slapped on, like, but it was the same, Green River foolproof or whatever. Glad you guys started talking about it the other day, and I realized that it's not. It's a completely different mash bill, and it is fantastic. Yeah. For sub $50. It is so good. So drinking that, but I started the day with some of these while I was watching football. These good boys, these John Daly, grip it and rip it. Got the iced tea, lemonade, and vodka one right now. These are fantastic. No carbonation, so you can drink a bunch of them on a Sunday watching football, and they go down smooth.
Yeah, I've been wondering about those. I saw those pop up. I want to say it was around summertime, and I was like, those sound pretty good. But I wanted to hear someone try them before I spent some money on them.
Yeah, I highly recommend them. They're good, and if you're watching your girlish figure, they have 0 carbs and 95 calories.
Perfect. But yeah, going back to that Green River, I am a huge fan of their foolproof. Like $50, $55, I think is the most I've seen it. Well, I don't want to say the most I've seen it for because I've seen it go more on stupid places, but $50, $55 you can find it for. I think that the Army's 250th might be better.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. I grabbed this. And they're just bottom shelf bourbon that they have put out like a year ago or whatever that comes in the 1 liter bottle.
The 19 whatever, the one that they put the numbers on to compete with someone else that puts numbers on.
Yep.
For their bottom shelf.
For I think $21.99 by me for a liter bottle, 85 proof, so it's low proof, but still, I mean that's a shelfer.
Yeah, they made that to be in the well of at bars, because obviously that horseshoe bottle isn't going to fit in the well.
Right.
So they wanted to do that to make it fit in the well so they could get into bars and whatnot. But I haven't seen it here yet. But that's definitely one I want to try for. That's another mash bill of theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. So. No, it's not fantastic. It's good. It's definitely a mixer.
Yeah.
But for a liter for $21, I mean, I got it on the fridge door right now to make old fashions with. So it's definitely worth the money. But Green River's doing some good stuff.
Well, I went today as a palate warmer. There's some good old Forester 86.
Another good shelfer.
I mean, 86 proof. It'll start you off right. Always tasty, always delicious, always consistent. Can't beat it for my money, so that's what I decided to go with. On another note, I'm going to go ahead and get loaded up here. So what we got going on today, for those folks listening, is a little side-by-side. I came across these bottles in a liquor store that I had never been in. And when I went in, I was looking around, and these caught my eye. And the owner of the store saw me looking at them, and he had them priced at $150 each. And he said, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Nothing. I was looking at these two bottles up here, but they're a little bit high right now." And he said, "I just want them gone. I just want them off my shelves. They've been sitting up there too long. Nobody buys them." He said, "Tell me a number. Tell me a number and you can have them." And I said, "How about 120 each?" And he said, "That's retail, so I'm good with that. Sold." So I walked out with two of the Heaven Hill grain to glass bottles. The first one is the bourbon whiskey. It's coming in at 107 proof. That's 35 rye, 52 corn, 13 malted barley. The second one, which I'm very interested in, is the Heaven Hill grain to glass rye. I did not get the wheat. I know where it is right now. And the guy's trying to sell it for like $160. So I have left it on that shelf. This comes in at 63% rye, 24% corn, 13% malted barley, at a lip smacking 123.2 proof. I love rye. I love high proof whiskey. And I have come to learn that I really enjoy a good high proof rye whiskey. You get more of the flavor. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And I'm going to go ahead and get poured up, guys. But before we move on, I did a little thing. And I didn't tell you guys about this because I wanted it to be a bit of a surprise. So I'm going to ramp up my personal experience. What I did was I grabbed this Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond 6-year, the old label, off of my shelf. And I'm going to be putting that up against the bourbon. Up against the rye, I got a personal favorite and the only bottle that I've ever owned. And you'll be able to see how I've had this bottle for years, and I've kept it for a long time because for a long time you couldn't find this shit on the shelf. Pikesville rye, also from Heaven Hill, coming in at 110 proof. As you can see, I've got a little less than half the bottle, and I bought this certainly before we bought this house, and we moved in here during COVID. So that tells you how long I've had this bottle, probably about 6 years. It's starting to show back up on the shelves a little more now. So that's great. It's much higher priced than what it used to be. However, if this goes well, or if it doesn't, I'm going to send you guys samples of these two bottles and additional samples of these Heaven Hill. And then we'll have you try these in the same fashion and see how you feel about it. It was an idea that I had just as I was gathering all my shit to come down here and record. So I thought we'd try it out, give it a shot, see what's what. Poured a little bit too much of the Bottled and Bond into my glass right off the bat. I'm getting antsy. So let's start with Jerry. Jerry, how are you? What are you getting on the nose for that grain to glass bourbon?
With the bourbon, the corn's there, and then there's like this light fruit. I can't figure out what it is, but there's like this very like faint light fruit note in there.
Apple?
No, it's even like
I'm gonna say peach for me.
Could be like like a almost like a unripened peach. Like there's a little bit of that there, but it's not like that full juicy like fresh peach.
Mm-hmm.
It's like unripe, like you picked it too soon or something like that. I can see that. But yeah, it's a nice sweet nose. Nothing too. I don't get the typical Heaven Hill funk on the nose that I get from a lot of their products. That dirty, dusty, peanutty note. Completely different than the Beam dusty peanutty note. This one's a dirty peanutty note to me usually.
Yeah. I'm not. I always expect that peanut, that roasted ballpark peanut note from Heaven Hill that just is similar but very different than Beam's peanut note.
Yeah,
it obviously comes from the yeast similarity that they have, but not really getting this here. I get a little bit of bacon spices, and there is that like an unripened like stone fruit type of like apricot or peach or something, but it's like just a hint of fruit, not a juicy fruitiness. I wonder how that's going to play onto the palate, if that is going to be there or not.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth between this and the Bottle and Bond, and I am getting some similar notes on the nose, but I feel like the grain to glass is a bit more crisp than the Bottle and Bond. Slightly brighter, certainly. There's more leather and brown sugar on the Bottle and Bond. I do pick up that fruit in the corn, but it could be the beard balm that I have in. But I'm going back to apple, red apple, even. It's got a nice nose. It smells like bourbon, you know.
It's a real nice nose.
Let's give the old palate a shot.
Yeah. A lot of the same notes for me. The bacon spice, it's spicy.
But in a good way.
But in a good way. Very
really good way.
A little, almost
that's really good.
Hot. Like a spice hot, like a cinnamon black pepper spice hot. But that fruit is there, and I'm almost going to go back to yours, Adam. I think now that unripened stone fruit turns into like a juicy red apple.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I was going to say it has that apple note.
Wow.
Has a blast of rye spice, like that almost floral rye spice in there.
Yep.
This was a high rye, right? What did you say? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, it's 35%.
Right.
Yeah. So it does meet the high rye requirement. That spiciness is definitely there. Yeah. Jerry, did you get anything else besides what you said there?
But the finish comes. There's a little bit of like a tannic oakiness towards the finish. It takes a little minute. Takes a minute, but the finish starts drying out towards the end of the finish. It's nice and oily, viscous, and then it just like hits a wall and then becomes dry for me. But yeah, that rye note, that rye spice, whatever you want to call it, with that fruity apple or peach or whatever fruit you're tasting, it's going real well together. And then I think that barrel char, tannic, whatever, I think helps it out, kind of brings it back from being too sweet. That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. The finish it's overly drying. Like it just kind of dries up on your palate, but leaves those spice notes on your tongue. I love that. It's fantastic because it doesn't go away. It's drying, but then there's those mix of rye, baking spice, pepper, just wonderful spices that they linger, but it's not like a very viscous or oily finish, which I really like. This is definitely worth the whatever $120 you paid on that one. That was good.
Did you guys have the opportunity to take a swig and then hit your cigar?
Yeah.
No, not yet. I kind of neglected my cigar. It went out, but I was like, I'll try the rye with like a fresh palate, and then I'll get the cigar relit, and I'll go back into them and see how they change.
So the one thing for me for this cigar, which we'll get into in a minute, very dark notes I get off of it, like mocha, almost. I even wrote down burnt bread, which is like a good note for me. I like the taste of, like almost burnt bread.
Same,
like toast is in there too long. That's right up my alley. So I get a lot of charry notes from this cigar, and the one thing that was popping up to me, it turned that juicy red fruit or juicy peach into like a grilled fruit note, which I was really digging, coming straight from the cigar back to the pour. I like that a lot.
I got a lot of the grilled fruit notes but it kind of punched down on my tongue with a big shot of brown sugar, or maybe even caramel more than brown sugar. As soon as I exhaled, got a little oxygen mixed in with the smoke from the cigar. It was fantastic. Yeah, that's a great fucking whiskey. The cigar is great, and we'll talk about that later, but that's a great pair right there too. Now, it should be said that there's absolutely no bias coming into this. This is a bottle. Both of these bottles I purchased, poured samples, sent to these guys, and they have sat. So I'm trying them for the first time right alongside you guys, except Jerry, who popped into that rye already.
Yeah, it was a real small. So we'll talk about it after we get into this rye about what these grain to glass actually entails and what they do at the distillery with it. But they got two editions right now. For the bourbon, I think one's 105, and the other one's 107 proof. The bourbon or the rye, one of them's 107, and the other one's 123 proof. So me and Paul, while Adam was running to try to find his cigar, we were trying to figure out which edition Adam sent out, and you could tell really quickly what proof it was. I literally just wanted to take a little nip just to kind of see, so I could make sure we had the right proof and everything, and you could tell. And that little sip, it was fantastic. So,
well, tell us what you get on the nose there.
There's some. It's this on the nose. It smells like a bourbon drinker's rye. There's some like caramel and some vanilla. A lot of like, because I'm pretty sure that. Oh, I'm actually not 100% sure what the mash bill of this one is, but I would.
Mash bill, I can tell you that. It is 63% rye, 24% corn, and 13% malted barley.
I figured this one would be in the closer to that 51% rye with how it smells. But it has like that caramel in there, and then that floral herbal mint note in there. So a little bit of mint, herbal rye note with a little bit of mint in there. A little bit of that like floral flowery note in there that I love to see in ryes. Not too much pepper spice for me in that. A little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, I get. I mean, it's a rye right off the bat. I mean, it definitely knows it has all the rye spice that you expect, but I get a big bready note from it. It's like just a white bread, just sandwich bread. Not like, like sourdough or just regular old run-of-the-mill sandwich bread. Yeah, not much spice to the nose at all. Maybe a little sweetness, maybe vanilla, but yeah, good nose. It doesn't nose 123. I'll tell you that much.
No,
I went in slow to make sure I didn't blow out my nose.
Nose is completely in the glass.
Yeah, does not nose 123. And I just opened this for the first time 35 seconds ago and poured it. I mean, they were in the sample bottle, so it's been open. It's not a fresh crack, but I did not let this air out or anything. And yeah,
we are just at the 19-minute mark of this recording. And I opened it literally like a minute before we started. So it's been open for like 20 minutes. That's my little sample bottle.
Yeah, so I'm getting the sweet baking spice, but I can't really tell exactly what it is. I'm getting some citrus on that for sure, what you would expect with a rye. I'm getting a bready note. For me, it's more of a, like, instead of a dense rye bread, it's more of an airy rye bread. So there's not quite as much oomph to it, not as much, material there to actually make it smell quite so rye-esque, but whatever, I'm ready to jump in.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
It is absolutely delicious.
Wow.
Immediately my brain went to the little white and blue wrapper vanilla Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
If you took one of those and just threw it in a glass of like 100% rye and let it just kind of slowly melt for a little while, that's the notes I get off of that. That's fantastic. I mean, it has those bourbon vanilla caramel notes, but overwhelmingly rye spice comes through. It does not drink 123 either. And I almost, this is less spicy than the bourbon for me, to be honest, as far as a proof point spice. This is damn good. I see
this rye's fantastic.
This is worth the markup if you see this above retail. The other one I'd try to find at retail. This one I'd pay a little extra if I find it.
At least this edition 1,
which
it was released in 24, so it's probably going to be harder to find. But
yeah.
So I urge you, before we go on, both of you, to hit that fucking cigar before you take a swig of that again, because oh my God, it just turns it into something wholly different.
But yeah, before the cigar, I got a lot of tea notes in there. A lot of tea notes, a lot of that vanilla, caramel, like almost typical bourbon notes. But I was kind of almost getting like there was a fruity note that was almost like a blackberry or raspberry, some kind of berry sweetness in there. But yeah, that rye is fantastic. Then again, I say it all the time, and Paul says it too. Not the biggest Heaven Hill fan, but I will say the ryes that Heaven Hill puts out are typically fantastic.
Oh yeah,
that Pikesville is great. The Rittenhouses are fantastic, especially for the price, like $20-$30 or under $30, like $20-$25. Their ryes are usually pretty fucking good.
And speaking of Pikesville, I just downed my glass of that to test it against this grain to glass, and it doesn't hold a candle. And that's saying a lot, because I've been a big fan of Pikesville rye for the first rye that I ever had that I liked was Old Forester. The second was Pikesville. And those two got me started down that road. This grain to glass, I could brush my teeth with this grain to glass rye. I mean, holy shit. And I wish people could see Paul's face. Well, they can. When I say this, look at Paul's face whenever I said that.
Yeah, head on over to YouTube. Watch it.
Yeah, that's right. Go to YouTube and watch it. Back up. If you didn't notice it at first, back up to where I said it at first and look at the look in his eye, because Paul has access to some of the best ryes on the planet, and a wide variety of ryes as well. And he gets them because he really likes it. This is not just a fantastic whiskey, but a fantastic rye. I guess a better way to say that is not just a fantastic rye, but a fantastic whiskey in general.
Yeah.
That encompasses bourbon, Tennessee whiskey, all that. That's really good.
So I just relit the cigar, went back to the bourbon, and I don't know if it's because I went from the rye back to the bourbon, but with the cigar and that bourbon, the vanilla note fucking exploded. And then I got that grilled peaches you guys were talking about, or sauteed peaches, whatever. But it was like dusted with like or not dusted because you can't dust caramel, but like caramel was drizzled on top of it. That is fantastic with that cigar.
Yeah. Challenge accepted, Jerry. I'm going to find a way to dust caramel.
Yeah, I was thinking like dusting of like cinnamon or something like that.
No, I think you probably can if you get a cheese grater and those caramel cubes.
Some of those were there candies or just
freeze dry? No, the cubes of caramel. You know what I'm talking
about? The chewy one.
Yeah, then freeze dry it, and then grate it.
There you go. That's it right there. Or throw it in a blender. Then you got plenty of caramel to dust. You know what I mean? I love those things, man. I used to eat those things all the time when I was a kid. I haven't had them in so many
Holy
years.
Shit. Going to that rye with this cigar?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's special.
Yeah.
To me, immediately in my head was burnt marshmallow on a graham cracker, but get rid of the fucking chocolate bar and you drizzle caramel syrup on that bitch, and you make your own self like a caramel burnt marshmallow s'mores. That's hit every note.
I was getting the same thing, but I wasn't so much getting the marshmallow. I was getting like a caramel covered chocolate with the graham cracker.
So I don't pick up too much of the chocolate coming from the cigar, but that burnt note's still there. That sweetness.
Yeah.
This they could call this a fucking cigar batch or whatever. I mean, this was made to go with I wouldn't say this is a full cigar. I'd say this is medium.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd say medium plus, but the notes I'm getting from it are darker, notes. And so I would say if you had yourself, like a nice medium plus or a full cigar, this whiskey would pair. It does pair fantastically.
Absolutely.
Their website says medium, so.
Yeah, I would say that's probably true because it's just the notes that I'm getting from it are. I just keep saying dark. I can't vote. I don't know what.
That's
just darker notes of like earth, darker notes of mocha or chocolate. I said like burnt bread before. It's all these like. I don't get much bright.
We had a cigar. We had a cigar a couple weeks ago. I can't remember which one it was, but that was the same thing. I was getting those dark notes. They weren't the coffee, like the typical coffee, chocolate notes. They were just dark notes. Like I couldn't pick it out, but yeah, I understand what you're saying because I had that same thing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, this needs a star next to it for whenever we do what was my favorite top 3 pours of the year. This is in the conversation right there.
Yeah, I'm going to save a little bit of that so I could sit down, whether it's tonight after we finish and I don't have a cigar and everything with me, or tomorrow and I could actually really get into that last ounce and a half of whiskey. That being said, I might finish it tonight too. But yeah, one thing I didn't notice or I didn't know about this grain to glass offering from Heaven Hill until me and Paul were talking about it before recording. Paul was mentioning that he remembers seeing that the rye had different proof points or whatever, so we started digging real quick. So you with all three, the bourbon, the rye, and the wheated, you got 2 different editions so far. Edition 1, which is the ones that we were drinking, were from 2024. Edition 2 came out July of this year, but Master Distiller is working with Beck's hybrids to choose a new seed with varying attributes that grows best in Kentucky soil. So each year they're changing the corn, which corn they're using, and then depending on what kind of corn and the flavors or whatever they're getting out of it, I guess they're changing the mash bills each year, or they might change the mash bills. Because they say each product features a unique mash bill different from our traditional bourbon mash bill in their higher rye content. So with which one am I on? I am on the rye. I think they're both using the same. So they're both using for this batch 1 is the Beck's 6158 corn, and then edition 2 is the Beck's 6225. I wish I kind of did some more research before we jumped on here, because I would have gone nerdy and tried to figure out what these different corn varieties actually consisted of and what they actually brought to the table, but that might be for another podcast, especially if Adam's going to send some more samples. Maybe I'll do a little deep nerdy dive and try to figure out what these different corn varieties bring to the table for the whiskey.
That's entirely possible.
All I know is this 6158 in this bourbon and the rye is fantastic.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder. I mean, clearly they're onto something with this grain to glass situation. The process is, I mean, I really don't know another way to say it other than it makes it, and maybe it's a placebo effect, but it seems like there's almost a freshness to the what's in the glass or in the bottle, and I know that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because it's still distilled and aged the same way, but there's something clearly that they're on here, and it would be really cool because this $120 retail. I'm gonna look it up on Total Wine right now, see what it is at Total Wine.
I'm looking it up right now. Total Swine around me has the wheated for $105, the bourbon for $105, and the rye for $90, but it's out of stock.
Yeah, I see the rye here for $100, and it's available.
And these are 700 ml bottles. Just throwing that out there.
The bourbon's the same, $100. But I guess the retail's probably come down a little bit considering that the bourbon bubble is what we would call leaking at this particular moment. But regardless, if they could get the price down to $80 and make it more accessible to folks, that would be fucking amazing. Because then it would fly off the shelves.
Yeah, so Total Wine by me, all three are out of stock, but the wheated and the rye are $99.99. The bourbon is $86.99.
That's so weird how it's
yeah.
Like one of them's cheaper for you and the other one's cheaper for me. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, shit, when where was I? Was I Daytona? I think it was either Daytona or Orlando, or driving through it, and I was just like, I pulled up something, and my phone connected to that area, and it was a different price down in Daytona than it was up in near Jacksonville. It's a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it looks like the bourbon that I can get for $105 at Total Swine is the same proof. So it's probably because you're the 2024, right? So it doesn't look like they have the 2025s out, or at least listed yet. Who knows? They could not update their shit. Who knows what's actually in store?
They are somewhat guilty of not updating the picture to go along with the, and then not updating the description in addition to that. So
right.
I have noticed that with Total Wine, but this is so this is the 2024 release. So if you can find those, and then again, that might be why the price is decreased on their site. Maybe they took the proof down as a means to take the price down.
So that being said, because if you go to heavenhilldistillery.com and then you find their grain to glass section, they give you a nice little spreadsheet of distillation year, release date, bottling proof, barrel entry, the corn seed varietal, the rickhouse site, the rickhouse, and the floor. So edition 1, which we were drinking, was entry proof at 125. Edition 2 was entry proof at 107. So, and the bourbon, same thing. Entry proof for first edition was 125. And the second edition was 107.
So they dropped both editions down in proof from 2024 to 2025.
But either the bourbon lost a lot of alcohol or they proofed it down to 107 for their first edition. For some reason.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they would proof it down and keep the rye cask strength.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. Maybe Yeah, I don't know. Searching for certain flavor point or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, they're both damn good.
Yeah.
I haven't had them before. I was, looking forward to trying these. We've had these samples for, I think, a few months now. Adam sent them to us.
Yep.
So waiting to try them because I honestly haven't seen them around me, but I haven't sought them out either because, they're, $100, and Evan Hill's not normally my my go-to brand, but I'll be looking for these. Trust me. And then now that I know that I can get them, at least the weeded and the bourbon on Total Wine's website, and have them sons of bitches drive them right up to my driveway, I might be doing that.
Yeah, especially since 90% of the time it seems like free delivery over like $90 or $99, whatever it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If needed, throw a little 50 ml mini in there to get it over that threshold.
Oh, give me a mixed case of these good boys and some Modelo mangoes, and yeah, that'll round that order out.
Yeah, that's definitely worth it. But we've been talking about the cigar the whole damn time, and we have said, given nary a detail as to exactly what the cigar is. So, Jerry, you sent these out, so
Yep.
Would you tell us about them, please?
So I picked these up probably a month or so ago and sent them out to the guys. Originally, it was going to be the cigar for last week's episode, which is our Veterans Day episode. But we ended up getting Carlos with Monte de Leon cigars and had a fantastic time with him. So we said, screw it, let's smoke it this time. So technically for us, today's the 9th. So technically we're smoking a veteran cigar a couple days before Veterans Day, but you guys will hear this in a week or so. But this is from Haze Gray Cigars. They're based out of, I think it's Pensacola, Florida. They're out in the Panhandle somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's Pensacola. Veteran owned, operated. I'm pretty sure, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's brothers. Cool little story, but we are smoking the Patriot cigar. And the reason why I grabbed this one for Veterans Day was because they donate a portion of every cigar sold of the Patriots to two nonprofits, one of them being Operation Zero, which is dedicated to ending veteran suicide, and then the other one being Operation Tackle Box, which is what it sounds like. It's to help veterans heal through fishing and get them back on track, which it's somewhat similar to what Brian and the 10th Mountain BC 40 hunts. He does hunting. This one does fishing. So I thought that would have been cool for Veterans Day. So, yeah. So it is a double Maduro Nicaraguan wrapper with Nicaraguan filler and binder. And I want to say they were, of course, what were they? I don't remember what the price was. I'll have to search it up. Their website, they used to be able to buy it off their website, but they changed it because they want to help out, because I want to say they're on Toro Cigars and a couple of the other smaller online retailers and smaller stores locally, and they kind of want to help those guys versus just selling it themselves. So if you give me a minute, I'll look up the price. I want to say it was like $11 per cigar, something like that. But fantastic cigar, and like I said, it went out on me, and I neglected it, but it's still a little wonky, but still pretty even for me.
Yeah. It's got great burn line. I think I had to relight once, but just because we were jabberjawing and neglected it. But we've talked. I mean, the notes, like I said, they're darker notes across the board for me, but just great. I mean, fantastic cigar, perfect draw. Love the label. It's got like the silhouette of service member with a dog, red, white, and blue in the background on the shield. It says War Dogs. Great cigar so far. I mean, and if that is the price point, like $10-11, fantastic. Highly recommend.
Toro Cigars right now, they're out of stock, but Toro Cigar, $11.69 for a single and $58.49 for a 5-pack.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's damn good price. And you had mentioned they do donate to Operation Zero and Operation Tackle Box, but when I looked them up, I saw that they donate 15% of each cigar.
That too,
which is significant to those two organizations. I mean, it's not just like those, 50 cents a cigar or things like that. I mean, that's a pretty good chunk from each purchase to go to two very good charities. So I'm a fan. I'd never heard of these, never seen them before. A smaller brand, but Jerry's kind enough to send them our way, and I'm really enjoying these. I'm gonna have to see when Toro gets them back in, and order some.
They have a lineup. I think it's like 5 different cigars, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 6. I could be completely wrong. It could just be like 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it looks like they got 7 different ones, including this Patriot. So yeah, I kind of interested in trying some more of these because, like I said, they're Florida, so they're essentially local to me. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a fan of bringing guests on without trying their products first, because I don't want to shit on them in front of their face on the podcast, and then we not want to. So I wanted to try these first and then reach out to them. But after the first, I don't know, half-inch of cigar, I'm like, I'm reaching out to these guys, see if we get them on. And I'm really interested in some of these other ones. They got, obviously, you got Connecticut's, Habanos, Maduros. They got a barber pole right there without actually getting into it and looking at all the details. But yeah, I might have to see about picking up a sample pack of theirs and trying all, because this Patriot's fantastic. A little bit of, like Paul said, dark notes, not so much chocolate, but there's a little bit of like roasted peanut in there, roasted almond, or roasted some kind of nut, and just good dark toasty notes. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, I will absolutely shit on them right to their face. But
the 3 of us would, but it's not a good look.
It's not well.
But I'm not going to shit on these guys. I'll say that it's fantastic.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not something that I'm intentionally trying to set up to make happen, but I will do it. That being said, of course, I want to try their products before they come on. That's how we've done it.
Yeah.
Since this show's inception. However, there's no shit to be thrown here. No. In terms of this cigar. It is great. It improved. That was my biggest benchmark. Was these whiskeys are fantastic. Is this cigar going to improve the flavor of these whiskeys? Is it going to enhance it? It did. If anybody had, if I had tried one of their cigars and it had caused these whiskeys to taste anything other than stellar, then I'm gonna know, well, no, this isn't, now I need to try it without. Is it still good on its own? Of course, but I don't need to do all that to really see what's going on, because it did enhance these 2 already stellar whiskeys. So that's a pretty amazing thing right there. That's my benchmark for that. And it held up. So, yeah. So, with that said, let's move on to the beer product. Jerry, I believe you sent those out as well.
Paul sent these ones out.
Well, Paul did. Okay. I got a little mixed up in what we were talking about earlier. So, Paul, tell us about it.
Yeah. So this is a company probably everyone with a beard has heard of, because they are sold on Amazon, Target, Walmart, anywhere beard oil is sold. I picked these up at my supermarket Giant, where I go grocery shopping. Normally these ones off the shelf at supermarkets and whatnot are, you turn around the back label and you can't understand what the hell's in the ingredient list. You can't pronounce it. It's got every vowel in one word, and you're like, yeah, I'm not putting this in my beer. But I looked at this one, and it has all, everything is just oils. I mean, it's what we're looking for in a beard oil. Safflower oil, olive oil, flaxseed, vitamin E, shea butter, borage oil, argan oil, and some linalool and lemonade, which I had to look up, and they're just
linseed oil.
Linseed oils for scents. Yeah. The one that I sent out, it was just 1 cent. These little squirt top bottles, which I like these squirt top bottles because you can squirt it into your hand, rub it through your beard. Was a sandalwood scent, which I am not a fan of sandalwood scent. But that's all they had, and I wanted to try this oil out to see how it was anyway. As much as I'm not really a fan of sandalwood, I don't really mind this one. It's light enough, but I don't know. I never understood how somebody could really get into that sandalwood scent. It just, to me, not for me.
To me, sandalwood scents are typical, or like a musky scent, but like in like almost like a spoiled way. Like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a big sandalwood scent fan. Yeah, so, it has like that musky, but in a bad way.
Yeah. So, but this was the only scent they had at the supermarket. I saw the ingredients. I was like, oh, the price is right. Let's give them a try. You can go online and order a bunch of different scents. They have like basic scents. They don't have anything. They're a gigantic company, so they're not doing little small companies like we normally do, where they get to play and do small batch different stuff. So they have sandalwood, cedarwood, sea salt and citrus, mountain air, aged bourbon, surf and cypress, coastal forest, and coconut and vanilla. So they have some different scents that I'd be interested in trying a couple of those. But the company we're talking about is Every Man Jack, which, like I said, if you've ever been in a Walmart or a Target and you've walked down that aisle, these guys are everywhere. They have products for all grooming, not just beard products. Hair, body, skin, deodorants, beard products. They're good prices. The washes are 6.7 ounces for $12. Oils is a 1 ounce squirt bottle for $12. The butter is 4 ounces for $12. They also have a beard and face lotion, which is 3.2 ounces for $12. I didn't really go down the prices for all of the other body and skin care, but I mean, they have everything a guy needs for, grooming, essentially. I mean, they're a gigantic company. They offer 20% off their first order when you sign up to be on their email list, free shipping over $50. If you subscribe and save, everything I just said for $12 turns into $10. They do have a cool limited edition sets out right now, which are Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Harry Potter. My kid's a huge Harry Potter head, so I think the Harry Potter scents I looked at were just washes, not even beard washes, like body washes. But yeah, I mean, for the most, like I said, it's just a gigantic men's grooming company. But at least for the beard products, I didn't do a deep dive on all the soaps and everything else they have for body washes and things like that. But at least for the beard products, all good ingredients. When I was digging into it, I did see that they got sued in 2017 about maybe misrepresenting some of their ingredients. So I think they corrected course since then, because these are all natural products that are in these right now, as long as they're telling the truth on the label, which I think if they got sued in 2017, they probably are telling the truth by now. Whether they were or not then, I don't know. I didn't really care to look too much into that court case, whether it was fraudulent or whatever. But I like the oils. I mean, the oils are right in my consistency, where it's a little thinner than some. Like I said, the sandalwood scent's not my go-to, but I didn't mind this scent as much. I've used it for the last couple of days. And you can get it everywhere. I mean, they're sold everywhere. Like I said, I got it at the supermarket. So at least if you go on vacation or something like that, and something gets lost or you forget something, that at least there's a big brand you can go out and grab, and you're not gonna put something horrible on your face. So what do you guys think?
I'm gonna be right up there with you. I like them. They're not gonna sit on my shelf, but they're definitely. I was just trying to look back at the other big box store brands that we've done. We've done the Cremo.
Well, we did the one.
The
we
Wild
did
Willies.
King Gillette. We did that. That was a good one. But remember, back in the day, we did one that Viking something that was a big box brand that was
trash.
Absolutely shit. I forget the exact name of that. And there's another company that's very similar, so I don't want to get it wrong and shit on a small company that's good stuff. But there was one that was very bad, and all three of us absolutely hate it. So at least turn the box over and look at the label when you're in the store. But yeah, this is, like I said, this is one that has good ingredients. So
yeah, I want to say this one and what was the other? I think it was the Cremo one or Cremo, however you want to say it. Those were my top two so far for like the big box store brand. And the funny part is both of those, this one with the sandalwood, that one I think is the Palo Santo scent profile. Could not stand either scent profile, but the oil itself was decent for what it is. And then when I was doing some research on it, right now on Amazon, $9.47. You get it on Amazon, free shipping with Prime. So under $10, you got a 1 ounce oil, that sea salt, whatever scent it was. When I was looking at that one, I'm like, that sounds like it's right up my alley there. But yeah, I like doing these big box stores because it's one of those things that if you go on vacation and you're flying and you can't bring some oils with you or whatever reason, or you forget to, or it breaks, or your luggage gets missing, or whatever it is, it's nice to know that you could go to Target or Publix, or well, not so much Publix everywhere, but Target or Walmart or a big box store or a convenience store and be able to pick some of these up that are actually going to be good for you. Because I know there's been some times where we'll be shopping, I'll pick one up, and 90% of the words on the back of the bottle I can't pronounce, and I look it up and it's all like modified bullshit, and it's not good. So it's nice to know that you could go to the store and actually pick something up when you're on a pinch. But like I said, the scent I wasn't a fan of, but it is what it is. I think it only lasted like 2, maybe 3 hours. It didn't last long at all, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I did feel like I needed to put more in, like towards the end of the day, to keep that nice, like not clean, but like soft and smooth beard feel. I feel like I needed to put more in for that. But other than that, it seems pretty decent oil. But yeah, the safflower, the safflower and borage oil. I don't know if I've ever seen those I don't know if we've ever had any of those in any of the other oils that we've used, maybe 1 or 2. So they're a little bit of some weird oils that we haven't used too much. But then you have olive oil, which is in a good amount, and then argan oil, which is almost in every beard oil. So yeah, like I said, it's not one that's going to sit. I'm not going to go buy it and put it on my shelf like the Bay Areas or the Bain blends that we had on recently. It's not going to be one of those, but it's definitely one that if I'm out of town and I forget some oils or they break or whatever, this is probably going to be one that I pick up off the shelf if I need it.
Yeah, and they're priced right. Like
yeah, for $10.
I mean,
yeah, and it's fantastic price range right there, especially for a 1 ounce for good oil.
What'd you think, Adam?
Yeah, so I'm gonna agree with you both that it's good to be able to go pick something up in the store. You know, you're on vacation, you forgot to pack your stuff, you need something, so that's great. Um, I did not care for the sandalwood. Um, just didn't. Other than
I
that,
don't want to cut you off, but why the fuck are all these companies putting out sandalwood scents? Like, I don't know anybody that likes that scent. Like,
because hippies have beards.
I guess.
I was gonna say,
Like,
we had
I reluctantly bought 2 bottles of this so I could give you guys enough of a sample from my supermarket. But the whole time I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's sandalwood. I know I'm not gonna like, but I want to try the oil. I want to try the company. But they only had the one scent at the food store that I went to, and so I was like, why did? And I remember standing there in the aisle, like looking around, like pushing the boxes, like maybe there's another scent in the back. Like, why is the only scent that they carry a scent that should not be a fucking beard oil scent? Nobody wants.
Did you buy it at Whole Foods?
I found it at Giant. Giant's my go-to supermarket. I don't know if you guys have those around you guys, but it's just a supermarket chain, just like Whole Foods or Publix or Safeway.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, if you bought it at Whole Foods, that explains why it's sandalwood. That's where all the hippie shop. That's what they're gonna have, is the hippie scent.
For the longest time, we had one of those oil diffusers to basically make the house smell good, so we didn't have to deal with candles going out all the time until that thing broke. But sandalwood was one of the scents or essential oils that I had. I could not stand. Like, I like cedarwood, different kind of cedar, like Texas cedar wood's really nice. There's a few other cedars that are out there that are real nice. Sandalwood, doesn't matter which one I grab, it all tastes. They all smelt the same, and they all smelt like shit.
It might smell good in the air, but I don't want that shit in my beard. I don't care
if you get it blended with some different oils and you kind of get a little bit of that mustiness, it can work. But by itself, I do not like it.
Yeah, it's almost, to me, it's almost like almost, I hate to say it, but it's almost like a musty, like, BO.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you walk by somebody and, like, motherfuckers forgot to put deodorant on this morning.
It's one of those where you put your cologne on over your BO, but your BO's overpowering.
Yeah, I don't want that in my beard, but they have a bunch of other scents that sound fantastic. The coconut,
like I said, that cedarwood.
Regardless, I don't want, like you said, the BO. I don't want my beard to smell like a 10-year-old that forgot to use deodorant after recess. I don't, for gym class, I don't fucking want it. So, otherwise, it's not an indictment of the company. Pretty much every company that I've ever bought products from, with the exception of some of the smaller ones, offer some type of sandalwood scent. So it's not an indictment of the company. The oils are good. It's not full of shit, with a bunch of chemicals. My face didn't hurt or anything like that. We've only ever shit on one company in the history of the show, and we're going on 2.5 years now. And we didn't shit on them at first, but we quickly realized that we did not like it. Anyway,
that one we realized that we didn't have an oil for that week, so we all went on Amazon, did the overnight shipping, and got it and used it for 2 days, and then reviewed it.
Yeah, but it's
and then we realized like 2-3 because I was using it the next couple of days just to actually get a good review on it, and then that's when all the shit started.
Yeah, that's an old story, but regardless of that, this is not that.
No.
Pores didn't clog. My face didn't hurt. It absorbed quickly. It wasn't greasy. All the things that I'm looking for. It's just that this particular. So this could fall in the same category as some of the oils that have been sent out. You guys have sent samples. I've sent samples. There's been times when we're like, well, I liked this one and this one and this one, but I didn't like this one because I didn't like the scent.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much exactly. If we had 4 other oils of their company to try, I'm sure we would like those more. It's just the sandalwood. So we're pretty much in agreement across the board on that, as I assumed we would be. We don't generally talk to each other about our individual reviews for the beer products until we're actually recording this. So I assumed that you guys would probably have the same stance on the sandalwood as I do. But, again, it's great to have a product that you can go out and snag up at the store if you're on vacation and forgot to pack your stuff, or, it's, widely available. You can have it If your order's over $25, you can have it overnighted Amazon Prime to wherever the hell you are in the world, whether you're on vacation or at your home or what have you. So definitely worth the money. If you're not into sandalwood, don't try that one. Go with a different scent. I'm sure they've got something out there. They got a ton of products, like Paul said. So they got something out there that's going to strike your fancy. This particular scent did not. And I used it for a few days, despite the sandalwood, just to make sure. And then, then I switched it back up to something that I enjoy a little bit more. But definitely worth your time. So check them out.
That being said, I was looking at the beard butter, and it's not that they're questionable ingredients in it. It's just something that you might want to look at depending on how your face reacts to different things. It's got shea butter, it's got the cocoa butter, coconut oil, but then it also has the hydrolyzed wheat protein, something that you might need to look at depending on how you're. But then, what was the other weird one? It had citric acid in it. Obviously, it's not. That's just there to help it stay shelf stable, but it could mess with your face or whatever if it's not used to it. So just like any other product out there, just take a look at the ingredients before really buying it and make sure that it's something that you would be willing to test out. That being said, it is only $12 for a 4-ounce beard butter. So if you do pick it up and it doesn't work for you, $12 ain't bad to just toss it. But that being said, like I said earlier, the sea salt and citrus or whatever scent that one sounds fantastic. And I did say I won't buy them to put it on my shelf, but I might buy it just to test out that scent for $9 for the oil and then $12 for the butter. You're looking at $20, give or take, for that whole thing, which that's industry standard for just the oil itself. So just for science purposes, I might end up doing that because something about that sea salt and citrus scent sounds great.
Yeah, no, they get a thumbs up from me. It just, like I said, like Adam said, it just, unfortunately, out of all those fantastic scents that they produce, the only one that they sell at my store near me in my grocery store was the sandalwood, which I knew I wasn't going to be a huge fan of. But, it is what it is. Like we all said, the oil's good, the product's good. So check them out. I mean, you can get them easy, very cheap. You're not going to break the bank to try them out. It's good backup oil. Sometimes for whatever reason, when, especially in winter, my beard gets super dry. And my go-to is, what's that company called? Something Farming.
Compass or
Compass
whatever.
Farming, yeah. I love Compass Farming because you can get a goddamn gallon of oil
for like $10.
It's such great product, and it's just an all-purpose oil. They say you can use it for, suntan lotion, lube, mosquito repellent. Like it's just an oil that you can just rub all over your body if you want to. But I love them because sometimes, like with my beard, just for whatever reason, if I neglect it, it's cold outside, whatever, I'll just take like a huge handful of cheap but good oil like that and just saturate my beard and let it sit for like 30 minutes right before I get in the shower and just really just let it. This would be a good one to kind of do that too, because it's $10 for an ounce. You could dump this whole and just do just a $10 treatment of just saturate your beard with good, ingredients. Let it sit, 10, 15, 30 minutes, then jump in the shower, wash it out, put your oil in. And
that's basically how I am in the summer with whether it's mowing the yard or doing yard work or doing anything outside here. It's you sweat all that shit out. You got to put something back in it. And I don't feel like wasting the good stuff. Not saying that the stuff I use is bad, but you get some good cheap stuff like that Compass or this stuff, and you just shove it in there for a little bit and let it do what it needs to do for your beard. And yeah. So.
Yeah. And like I said, it's check out the ingredients on the other stuff, but they do have, like I said, the limited edition sets, Harry Potter, Marvel, Guardians. So good Christmas gifts for those sets too. I looked at the Harry Potter one because we're a Harry Potter family, and it's pretty cool. They got like a little chest, and you can get all 4 different washes in this like little presentation box. It's pretty cool for like $50, I think, for 4 body washes. And they're all themed, and the decor on the label, like the marketing, is all Harry Potter-esque, and it was pretty cool. So definitely getting into the gift-giving season. They got some cool stuff too. And I think I said it before, maybe I didn't, but yeah, 20% off the first order when you sign up for their email list, and free shipping over $50, which that's going through their website. Sounds like if you go to Amazon or Walmart or Target, you might be able to get a little bit of a deeper discount if you have Prime or whatever Walmart's Prime is and all that stuff too. So check them out. They're approved by me as far as at least the beard stuff that I looked into the ingredients. Like I said, all the other lotions and stuff, I didn't deep dive into their ingredients, so do your own research.
Right on. Well, gentlemen, that brings us to the end of another episode of Bourbon, Beards, and Belvederes. Don't forget to check out heavenhilldistillery.com. You can find them also on Instagram at Heaven Hill Distillery. We've got other socials as well. I just don't know what they are. Check out the cigars at hazegraycigars.com. That's HAZEGRAY cigars.com, and you can find them at Haze_Gray_cigars on Instagram. And then the beer products, everymanjack.com. You can find them on Instagram at everymanjack. We are in the midst of November. We're in the 9th day. We've been teasing a giveaway for a while.
Well, we actually
did you start it up last week?
Yeah, we did it live.
Okay.
So anyone that watched us live saw it, but officially didn't go live until this tomorrow, which by the time this episode gets released would be last Monday. And something that we didn't tell you, our guest Carlos De Leon from Monte De Leon Cigars also wants to throw in a 5-pack of his cigars to the giveaway. So not only do we have the bottle of 10th Mountain Rye whiskey, the humidor was 100 or 150 count humidor, and the beard product from Lit Beard, not the beard product, the kit. He wants to throw in a 5-pack of a variety pack of his cigars.
That's awesome. So thank you, Carlos, for that.
And so by the time this comes out, there will be a post. Or hopefully there'll be a post tomorrow, as in the 10th or the 11th. So by the time this episode comes out, there will be a post that you can go to, and we'll be blowing that out. But yeah, you go ahead and continue with what we need to do for that giveaway, Adam.
Yeah. So I was going to say thank you to Carlos as far as that goes. So to win those products, it's fairly simple. We just need you to donate to your favorite veterans charity, and then show us proof. That's all you have to do. We're going to give you. Did you give all this information last week?
It was one entry per $5, just like it was originally.
Yeah, correct. One entry per $5.
$5 gets you one entry. $10 gets you 2 entries, and so forth, so on.
Correct. And then we'll give you an additional entry for liking and sharing a post related to this.
All the good stuff, following, liking, tagging, sharing, all that stuff.
If you don't show us proof of the donation, then your liking and tagging and sharing mean nothing in regard to the giveaway. We have to have proof first in order for you to be entered. Once we have that, then you get as many additional entries as you can possibly get, and you could end up winning all this for $5. You could end up winning it for $200, whatever you want to give.
And honestly, it's something that we shouldn't say as a brand. I would say we are, or a podcast. As long as you donate, you don't have to follow us or
Right.
subscribe to us or whatever. You don't have to. Like, it's something that we shouldn't say. Like, you got to follow. Like, yes, we want you to, and we'll give you extra entries for it. But the main thing is you have to donate to a charity. And if you don't have one in mind, or you can't think of a good one, or you don't know which one, because we've talked about it before, there are some charities that don't give, they'll give the money to some parts of it, but they don't give it to the right way, sort of deal. So if you're wondering which charity you should give to, or you have some questions, just let us know. Hit one of us up on our own personal Instagram or on the podcast Instagram, and we'll try to help you out. Because there's so many out there that are fantastic, and even some small ones that no one's ever heard of that are doing fantastic things. And like I said last week, I'm trying to get a hold of Bryce from Silent Hero Cigars about his service dog charity that he's trying to do stuff with. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, so I might have to reach back out to him, see if I can help with that one, because that sounds like a cool one. Trying to help a service member just walk in. This is the dog I want. They do all the training. They do everything, and it's nothing out of their pocket. That would be something fantastic to do. But I want to make sure it's the right organization before we actually put that name out there. So once I officially know that one, I'll be posting that one. But yeah, just let us know if you have any questions of what charity to donate to, because I'm sure all of us have plenty in our minds right now, but you can go towards.
Sure. So again, first entry is created by donating to your favorite veterans charity, and then you have the ability to create further entries by liking and sharing, the posts.
All the good stuff.
And then, we'll announce a winner live in December. And hopefully we can raise some money for some veterans charities. So I think last time we did this, we were only raised about $200. We'd like to raise more than that. Thanks again to Texas Rose for, donating. And she was our winner the last time we did this. This is definitely something we want to do at least once a year. But it's all, none of the money's coming to us. So just keep that in mind. This is going directly to the charity. You donate directly to them, and then just show us the proof. You don't have to show us how much.
Yeah, just
screenshot. Yeah, $5 or more.
Take a screenshot. If you don't want to show us how much you donated, that's fine. As long as you donated, show us your name, the organization. We'll give you one entry.
That's right.
If you want to keep that private, which 100% understood,
sure.
We'll give you one entry. But if you have how much you donated, we'll do the math ourselves and let you know how many entries. Like I said, one entry per $5. So, like Adam said, at least once a year. Myself, once we get rolling, I think it would be cool to do 2 or 3 a year. That being said, I got my new little headband on. I've been wearing it all episode. It's from the Long Hairs. And when we had that, well, we didn't have them. We had their products on the show, and I have decided to grow it out for the next however long and donate it to the children with hair loss. So I started buying some of their products and helping them out and talking to those guys. So we'll see how that goes. It needs to be at least 18 inches. So we can grow it out to at least 18 inches. And then if it starts annoying me, which I would assume it will, then I'll have to figure out if I actually want to go longer or just cut it at 18 and then donate that. But I think some kind of veteran or first responder giveaway and then some kind of children giveaway, I think would be something cool to do. At least those two, if not more. I would love to do shit. If we could do one a month, that'd be fucking awesome. But that's definitely a stretch right now. So one a year right now, I'd be happy with. And then we can go from there.
Yeah, I donated my hair to Locks of Love at one point. My hair has never been the same. I've never been able to grow it out since, because after I did, I shaved my head for a little while, much like I do now, and then it just never grew back. I shaved myself into natural baldness. It's fucking stupid. I didn't know that was possible. But
I thought it was. Didn't they tell us the more you shaved, the thicker it grew back in the day?
yeah, that's what they used to say. That's what they used to say. Turned out to be complete bullshit. Although I did see recently that some guys in another country have developed a serum that apparently reactivates the follicles and allows for hair to be regrown. So if that gets passed through FDA approval so that it can be sold on the market, which I think the FDA is a big fucking scam anyway, still, hopefully we'll be able to see some of that on the shelves here in America at some point, and I can maybe have some hair to do this through again. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But at any rate, those charities are always worth our time, something that we're very passionate about on this show. And we hope that you are too. Don't forget that I am doing 2,000 push-up challenge for November to raise money and awareness for veteran suicide. It's a bit of a problem. And that's making light of the situation, which I don't intend to do. I'm not doing that intentionally. But it is a serious issue. There are a number of veterans that commit suicide every minute. It is a thing that we can count down to the minute as opposed to the hour or the week or the day or what have you. And those guys and gals should feel supported by us when they come back here and not feel helpless.
It's damn near close to 1 a minute.
It's something pretty bad. I can't recall the exact number. I just saw it the other day, but my memory is terrible. But I've done an abysmal job of uploading videos to Instagram so that folks can see that progress. But I will be doing that starting tomorrow through the rest of November. And since I've done such a terrible job of uploading those videos, I'm going to start over at 1 tomorrow and work my way up to 2,000 within the next 20 days. So that'll be 100 push-ups a day. Not a big deal. I've done it before. The last time I did this challenge, I think my goal was 1,000 and I ended with 4,000. So, it's a good way to get some extra exercise in, help myself get in better shape, and raise money and awareness for this extremely valuable charity that does some great work with our veterans. I'm not a veteran, but I myself have dealt with PTSD, anxiety, and depression for the majority of my life, and I can only guess what it must be like for them, given the reason for my PTSD versus theirs, and my reason for depression versus theirs. It's a different situation. It makes me feel a bit like one of these idiot emo kids from the early 2000s that were upset about their parents making them clean their bedroom, as opposed to actually having true trauma and having lived through some real shit. So again, our hats off to those guys and gals, and we want to do everything we can to help them. So I've given out the socials and the websites. So until next week, cheers.
Cheers, guys. Bourbon, Beards, and Belvederes is produced by Adam Bolden, Paul Rousseau, and Jerry Ullman. Edited by Jerry Ullman. Music by Ryan Johnson. You can find all of our links on our website at bourbonbeardsandbelvederes.com and at beacons.ai/bourbonbeardsandbelvederes. As always, enjoy your bourbon and cigars responsibly. Cheers.